All right, what's going on, guys? Dimitri Ross here. Thank you for being a part of my Facebook community. Really appreciate you being here. And today is going to be a really epic training for you. I'm calling this the Sales 101 Playbook, okay? I'm going to give you, the crux and really everything that you need, the nuts and bolts, okay? The process, the principles of what it takes to actually have a thriving coaching business, have one that pays the bills and more, okay? So many coaches are struggling to make money online and I hate seeing it, okay? It doesn't have to be like that. I remember I used to be so nervous. I used to quiver and shake when it came to selling on the phone. I was so nervous, okay? And I've really gone through a transformational journey over the last 3 years. In Easter 2018, my fiance and I were homeless, and December 18 is when I launched my marketing agency. I took personal responsibility for where I was in life. I decided to, get a job, and everything I saved from the income that I had went into personal development. It went into courses, coaches, programs, and slowly but surely, I ended up where I am right now. And at the moment, I've been able to collect over $1 million cash in my coaching business in just the last few years. And it wasn't easy, but it was worth it. And the principles, truthfully, I'm going to share with you today is going to be game changer. If you implement, take note, and embody and obsess over what I'm going to share with you and talk about today, these principles will change your life, and you'll never have to worry about money again, because sales is the lifeblood of business. Sales is the lifeblood and the fuel to get exactly what you want in the materialistic physical plane, as well as having more thriving love and happiness in your everyday life. Because when it comes to life, the greatest stressor is always money. And my gift that I want to give to you as a Christmas gift today is to teach you exactly what you need to master sales. Now, before we get into me sharing my screen and going through things, I just want to really address the elephant in the room, okay? There's a couple of things that we need to talk about from a fundamental principle point of view before we get into the strategy or the overarching theme of today. Number one, okay, you must have a clearly identified niche of who you're going to be serving. Okay, you must have a proximity, interest, desire, and past experience with these people that you select as your niche, and they must be willing to participate and partake in the financial resources to invest in the transformation experience. They must have extra cash, excess cash, because you deserve to charge a high ticket premium price, whether that's, $1,000 a month, $1,500, $5,000 a month for your service in fair exchange for your program or what you do. You deserve that. So you have to get in front of the right people who can afford to pay you. Without doing that, you're going to struggle. So there's a principle number one for you, is making sure you find people and you actually select the niche that has the extra financial resources and the backing to invest in you. Because it's all good having the best solution in the world, but if you present it to someone who's broke, well, they're not going to be able to change. So that's the first principle. You must have a clearly defined niche that you can actually easily relate to and have that element of know, like, trust. The second principle is your offer, okay? You must have an offer that is so good that someone would be stupid to say no to. So the principles I'm going to share with you around sales specifically today have allowed me to close at 60 to 80% of all of the calls I've ever been on, okay? But it's come from having a good offer. If I'm trying to sell ice to an Eskimo, it's not going to go too well, is it? Or if I'm trying to, teach a homeless man how to build $1 million business, but he doesn't have the financial resources or caliber or understanding of what business is, it's not going to go too well. So there are two principles for you. You have to have a clearly defined niche, and they must have the ability to pay and invest in their growth and development. Okay, and number two is they must actually, you must have an offer that's so good in the packaging of your offer that they would be stupid to say no. If you want me to put together a training on offers, hashtag offer below, okay? And I'll put together a training if there's enough interest on how to build a fuck yes offer, an offer that's so good, someone will be stupid to say no to, okay? So that's the overall principle and understanding of what you need to have an offer that sells like crazy. 2 principles. Now we need to talk about your own beliefs before I get into the strategies of what you need to actually do. This is one thing that holds 99% of coaches back, okay? And it's their belief system. You believing that sales is sleazy, okay? Is pressure, high pressure situation, it's needy. If you come from that place of I'm not worthy of money, you've got to check into your internal belief systems of, do you feel worthy of money? Do you feel worthy of charging? And a lot of that comes from your own offer and whether you feel like it's actually going to change someone's life. And the other part is your own beliefs. Do you understand at a core what you believe about money, what you believe about your abilities to transform someone's life? You must have full certainty and conviction that you are capable of transforming someone's life. And the other part of that is you must feel worthy of being paid a handsome amount in exchange for your product or service. And I want to go into a quote from Dean Graziosi, and I went into this with my clients the other day, but he was being presented by Ed Milet on a podcast interview, and they talked about this principle. Okay, he was in a room full of women who were all female entrepreneurs wanting to sell their products and services, and he was speaking and presenting to them. And he said, how many of you here right now would love to make money and would love to transform lives throughout the world via your business? And everyone raised their hand. And he said, how many of you love sales, or how many of you are confident going out there and selling your product and service? No one raised their hand because they're all in their own head. And as Tony Robbins says, when you're in your head, you're dead. So what the crux of it was when he talked to them individually and he went around the room is that they all didn't want to be sleazy or salesy, or they didn't want to come across as a used car salesman metaphorically. They wanted to be someone from authenticity, someone who was selling in a really streamlined, elegant way. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. But there's a couple things I want to share from Dean Graziosi of what he said. And he said, absolutely love it, your product so much that you feel bad if they don't use it. Absolutely love what you do so much and the transformation you provide that if they don't use it, the prospect, if they don't sign up, you need to feel bad, okay? And he says that you're literally screwing people over if they don't buy from you. You're literally screwing people over if they don't buy from you. Think about that belief. He believes I am actually screwing people over if they don't buy from me. Talk about powerful belief systems that will allow you to rise up and live an extraordinary life, or belief systems of I don't want to be sleazy or salesy, okay? Think about this. Which belief do you want? One's a very empowering belief, and the other is an extremely disempowering belief. So your beliefs are thoughts, and thoughts become reality, so you want to control what goes on in your mind. And he literally says here that they're either going to do nothing and not buy from you, or they're going to go and buy from a competitor. So they're either going to stay in the exact situation where they are, that painful situation, or they're going to go and buy from a competitor. So you're literally, as he says, you're screwing people over if they don't buy from you, because you know your offer's better than your competitors. If you don't believe that, you need to believe that, and you need to get the evidence procedure in place to believe that. Guys, if you're watching live, hashtag live below. Let me know your biggest takeaways. Hashtag replay if you're watching the replay with your biggest takeaways as well. Share the love, because the messages and the principles I'm sharing with you today are game changing, and I promise they will change your life if you take this seriously. If you had the cure to a cancer that wasn't yet solved through solutions, You would go out there and you would present it to everyone. You wouldn't think about your own fears, your own limiting beliefs, your doubts, your crippling beliefs. You would park all of that. You wouldn't have to go to therapy for 12 months or 24 months. You would park it and say, this is what the people need. I need to get this out there ASAP. I need to transform lives. That's the place that you would come from. So I want to challenge you to think and believe in your heart and mind that your offer is the best thing in the world. And the final principle around your belief systems here is what Dean also says, which is selling becomes service. When selling becomes service, you will never sell again. When selling becomes service, you will never sell again. So you're no longer selling and you're serving. What would happen if you showed up every day to market your business, create videos like this, have conversations with strangers in the DM? If you came from that place of, I'm not here to sell, I'm here to serve. And whether someone pays me or not doesn't matter. I'm here with the intention to serve. Energetically, if you showed up from that place, how would your business transform? How would you change and shape your destiny? Some powerful questions that I wanted to share with you there. Let me know your biggest takeaway so far with the principles and the overview of what I've covered with you. Now, let's get into the actual principles that I wanted to share with you today. Okay, so we've talked about before you start selling and the principles there. Now let's talk about the strategy side, the principles of the strategy side. So first of all, you need to understand that if someone doesn't see value in what you have to offer, they will never buy from you. They'll just mark you off as another coach, another consultant, another course creator. So our job and your $1 million question is, how do I get a prospect to see value so they want to buy from me now? Not in a month, not in a year, now. And that's what I'm going to be walking you through right now, exactly how to do this. So we're going to go through what you must establish throughout the sales process in order to make sure you're closing at a high percentage. And you must have all the principles I've discussed with you previously in order for this to work. So the first thing, okay, if you forget everything with what I'm covering with you right now, okay, you literally forget everything. The only thing that you have to remember today, ultimately, is the carrot and the stick analogy. Imagine you're in the 19 or the 1600s and you're on the back of a donkey in the desert, okay? And you are on this donkey to transport and the donkey's not moving. It's being stubborn. You have this big load of things you need to transport to your village, okay? And the donkey won't move, okay? You try everything with a donkey. Donkey, please move. Please go. We need to go. It doesn't move. But what happens if you provide a carrot or an apple and you dangle it in front of the donkey? The donkey wants food. It uses food as energy. So if you dangled a donkey out, it would start moving, wouldn't it? It would start walking in the direction that you dangle the carrot or the apple. That gets movement. But that's not enough because it's probably going at 5 kilometers an hour. And you have big goals watching this. So your clients, your prospects have big goals too, but it's still a nice to have place. Oh, I'll just get there slowly. But if you then presented a stick and you whack the donkey, I'm not an advocate for doing this, but metaphorically, if you whack the donkey with a stick, you provided pain. Guess what's going to happen? The donkey's going to move and you whack that donkey, it's going to move so much faster. Okay, it's going to go from 5 kilometers an hour to 15, 20. I don't know if it can go that fast, but you get the point here. The point is that pain is greater than pleasure. The carrot and stick analogy, you need to find out what the carrot is for your prospects, their desires, their goals, their dreams, their hopes, their wishes. And you need to find out the stick. What is currently holding them back from getting there? Why are they where they are? You need to establish pain. What are the consequences if nothing changes? How long have you stayed exactly where you are right now for? And when you establish pain, you will crush it. Okay? So the first principle of the carrot, the goal. So you must clearly identify what they want, what your prospect wants, short and long-term goals. And that's not enough. You have to do two things. You must get a logical understanding. Oh, I'd love to make $10,000 a month. That's not enough. That's logic. Why do you want it? What's that going to do for you specifically? Or I want to lose 10 kilos. I mean, 10 kilos is just a number, right? Like, why 10? What would that do for you? How would you feel if you lost that weight? If you get people to logically say what it is they want, and then you get the emotional reasoning and why it's important, drive that association, you will crush things for you. Okay? The next thing is the stick. So we've got the carrot. You want to find out what they want. Logical, and get them emotional about it. Get them emotional about it. Then the stick, the problems, the pain. You want to find out what a prospect believes is holding them back from achieving the desired outcome. And there's usually two things: a strategy of, I don't know what to eat. Let's say you're a weight loss coach. I don't know what to train. I just don't know my macros, for example. And there's also the emotional. There's the emotional side. Let's just use the weight loss example. Of all my life growing up, I was bullied and I have all this trauma from being called dim sim or fatso when I was growing up. Okay, you want to get the strategic things that they're not doing that they need to do, as well as the emotional things, the blocks, the things that are holding them back. So you want to find out that, number one. The next thing is you want to find out what they've tried in the past to solve the pain and achieve the goal. And you do this by you ask them, what have you liked about what you've previously tried? And then you follow up with, what don't you like about what you've previously tried? And when you do this double whammy, okay, people aren't expecting you to ask what they've liked about what they've previously tried, because it's a sales call. It's supposed to be a high pressure sales situation, which is completely not true. So what you want to do is ask that. It's a double yes question. And then what they didn't like about what they previously tried. And they're going to open up to you. You're going to get all of the data from them. It's really going to support you in this journey. Then what you want to do is ask them, hey, have you ever worked with a coach before to overcome this? Have you ever bought a program, or have you ever tried anything to overcome this through coaching or mentorship? And then you want to ask, what was your experience like? Did you get what you want? Then they're going to say yes or no. If they said yes, great, move on. If they say no, they didn't like their experience or they didn't get what they want, what didn't you get specifically from this, from that coaching experience? And what would you like to have seen instead? Then guess what? You're getting all of this data, okay, that you can use, take mental note or take written notes, and you can use all this data when you present your offer at the end. Okay, so you tried this, and this in the past. You got this support in the past. It didn't work for you because you didn't have this, or you wanted this instead. Well, I can definitely help you with that, and that's exactly what's in my program. So this is really going to support you on this beautiful journey. So the next thing is you got to ask them what they would like to change now from a strategic and mental point of view, so they can move forward and achieve their desired outcome. Hey, what would you like to change? That's all you have to ask. What would you like to change about what you're currently doing? And they're going to tell you, which is really going to support you in your sales journey. Then, of course, the next thing to do is get urgency, because guys, having their desired situation, the carrot, and having some pain or a little bit of pain is not enough to get someone to move, because we all have a comfort zone. We all have a comfort zone that is holding us back and keeping us where we are right now. So what you want to do is make sure there is an element of pain, and the pain is significant enough for them to change and take action. So what we need to do is get urgency. And this is why they need to solve it now. there's no urgency to change. A prospect will never buy the transformation. Even if you have the best offer in the world, it's a no-brainer for someone. If there is no pain for someone to change now, not next month or next year, and you can do this by asking questions like, okay, Sally, so what are the consequences in 12 months' time if nothing changes? So you go out and you future pace. Then you can go back to the past. And out of curiosity, have things changed in the last 12 months in regards to your weight loss, in regards to your coaching business, whatever it is for you? And you can find out what are the consequences in 12 months' time if nothing changes, and how things have changed how things have progressed in the past. And from that place, you got all this data, which is why you can pinpoint right now. So what you're saying to me is, if you don't change right now, nothing will change, right? Because the past of you staying exactly where you've been for the last 6 months, and you're saying that in the future, it would be so painful if you were there. Like, you understand you need to change right now, yeah? Is it fair to say you need to change now? And you get their commitment. And when you get their commitment, and then to consciously recognize why it's important to change now, they will be emotional and they will take action. So basically, in order to get urgency, there must be a period of negative emotions or results, or an impromptu thing that's come up that's made them want to change now. You talk about health. People neglect their health for years, and then all of a sudden they go to the doctor and something comes up. They're like, oh my God, I need to start eating healthy now. That's one analogy. Or the other analogy is, they've been stuck at 100 kilo bench press and they want to go to 200. That's a bad analogy. They're stuck at 2K a month and struggling to pay the bills, and it's been like that for a year now, and they need to get to 10K a month. Okay, that's another example. And there also needs to be a negative, like, what if nothing changes now realization in the prospect's mind? So you can use that question I said before, like, what are the consequences in 12 months' time if nothing changes? And they must have a realization consciously that they need to change now. And then they need to realize, you can follow up with this question is, are you 100% committed to changing right now? And why is that important? And then you can follow up with, so you're 100% committed to changing now, right? This one would be, so you need to change now, right? Yeah, I know I need to change. But knowing you need to change versus being 100% committed is different. So then that you'd follow up with, amazing. So are you 100% committed to changing right now? Yeah. So then this is the fourth step, where you educate and you have reasoning as to why what they've tried in the past hasn't worked for them. So, for example, let's just use the nutrition. So you tried the Atkins diet, and let's just say you're selling keto, and they've tried Atkins diet in the past. Okay, so basically what you're saying is, the reason why things haven't worked previously for you, Sally, is because you tried the Atkins diet. Now, the reason why the Atkins diet isn't efficient for you to lose weight, blah, 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 is because of this. And I'm really sorry that you work with that previous coach and, they got you to lose all this weight really quickly, but then you put it back on instantly. What you need, Sally, is an actual long-term strategy for sustainable results. So instead of the Atkins diet, we want to use the ketogenic diet. And here's why, blah, 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 blah. Insert case studies, successes of past clients, whatever. Like, that's a little analogy for you of educating, okay? You want to show them the old way of why things didn't work, and then present the new way that will help them efficiently arrive at the desired outcome. Then we've got two other elements left. Presenting the bridge. Presenting the bridge is super straightforward. Awesome. I feel like we've really connected amazingly on this call, Sally. And, I'm really inspired by who you are and what you're doing. And I have something that can definitely help you. Would you be open to me walking you through how I can help you specifically right now? That's all you have to say. That's the bridge. I have something that can definitely help you. Simple as that. Then you'll just go into the next step, which is the last step, making the offer. And you'll present what you have to offer. Okay, Sally, it's a 12-week transformation. We're going to work together on a one-on-one coaching session every single week. And we're going to do this, and this. Explain a few of the features, but don't overwhelm, okay? Features don't sell. The benefits and the outcome do. So you want to make sure you're always focused on the outcome they want. Okay, Sally, so we're going to do this thing. We're going to do this emotional clearing session. We're going to get you to eat this specific thing, as it's going to help you lose your 10 kilos in 12 weeks or help you make 10 grand in 10 weeks, whatever. So make sure you're always solution orientated, not feature. If you're going to explain a feature, make sure you provide the benefit of how it's going to help someone achieve the desired outcome. Then you go into what it looks like, the offer, blah, 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 the price, and you'll sign them up. Now, that's it in a nutshell, guys. That's the process here. This is literally all you need to do, step by step. I've gone 25 minutes here of pure wisdom. Let me know below your biggest takeaways. Let me know what questions you have below. If you literally download this recording or you commit and set a timer right now to watch this every single day for the next 30 days, you will really set yourself up to win. You must become obsessed around sales. You must become obsessed around business. Just remember the pre-stuff we covered, the first 10 minutes. You've got to have all of those things in check. Your beliefs, your niche, your offer. If you've got those things in check, you will crush it with sales. You will crush it with business. So guys, Dimitri Value Ross here. Hope you got a ton of value from this. Let me know below. Send me a message if you want help clearly identifying your niche, your offer. If you want help with the sales process further, you'd like my team and I to watch your sales calls, review your sales calls. You'd like to learn more about working with us as to how we can help you build your business to $10,000 a month plus. Send me a message. I would love to serve you on this journey. Our guarantee is we get our clients to $10,000 a month cash collected in 6 months working with us, or we work with you for free beyond that point until you do. So guys, that's all from me. Let me know your biggest takeaways below, and I'll see you soon.